So, hello everybody and welcome to another Doctor Who video, and today I'm taking a look at the evil of the Daleks, a story which I've always loved and always enjoyed, so it's a nice review. So let's just take a look at the front cover of the DVD, which we have Doctor Who, Evil of the Daleks, and we got the animated Patrick Trout on the front. We got Jamie and Victoria. This is in her introduction story, and we've got the Emperor Dalek himself and some stars and Skaro in the background. So beside Doctor Who, the Evil of the Daleks on the back, and there's some pictures of the animation at the top in colour, and the text is as follows. Patrick Troughton stars in this recreation of a lost classic from 1967. The TARDIS has been stolen, marooned on Earth in the year 1966. The Doctor and Jamie is set out to find the missing time machine. Their investigations lead them to a mysterious London antique shop where all the antiques seem to be brand new. Kidnapped by the antique shop's owner, the Doctor is then brought face to face with a very old enemy, the Daleks. Working from a house in Victorian England, the Daleks have a new master plan to conquer the universe, and to carry it out they need the Doctor's help. The original 1967 master recordings of the evil of the Daleks were lost soon after the programme's original transmission, which is why this one's animated, for those who don't know. However, audio-only recordings of all 7 episodes have survived and have been used here to create a brand new, fully animated presentation of the Lost Classic, and also the original episode 2, which did get found, is on this DVD as well. So this release includes episodes 1 to 7 in colour and also in black and white. The original episode 2, as I just said, audio commentaries, the 1992 or 1993 audiobook, which was narrated by Tom Bacon, I think. On the reconstruction, you can get the Fraser Hines a version of the remastered soundtrack, so there is also an option. Photo gallery, animation gallery, episode reconstructions of the Lost Dalek, an assignment with Grim Evil, the interview with the designer of the Dalek Factor, which is a making of documentary, episode 1, 1968 introduction, because this story was repeated and there was an in-universe explanation in The Wheel in Space, and a PDF and ROM content, and this is a PG and it runs for about 3 hours approximately, and it is a 3-disc set, and there's some cast info there which I'm not going to read. Just take the slipcase off. It is exactly the same on the inside, and then on the inside we've got disc 1, which is the black and white, disc 2, which is the colour, and disc 3, which is the telesnap reconstruction and more of the bonus content. And then there's a way that you can flip the cover over to make it match your other DVDs. And then the booklet itself, which tells you more about the actual production, which I actually learnt quite a bit from. I was quite surprised at, and some more information on the cast and these special features. So that was the showcasing of the evil of the Daleks. So now it's time for my review of this classic Doctor Who story. So yeah, the evil of the Daleks is just fantastic, although I feel like all the characters, like it's written by David Whittaker, who is my favourite Doctor Who writer, and yeah, it's just full of his brilliant character work throughout. The Daleks are really well used in the story, they're just excellent, like being very threatening, and Peter Hawkins pulled out an excellent performance, as even though I think his approach to the Daleks is slightly better than Roy Skelton's, though I think Roy Skelton also does a good job, and the effect on the noise is fantastic in this. And yeah, just the Daleks are really well characterised. The characters themselves, most of the supporting cast is amazing, which is which is a bit of a contrast to the power of the Daleks, really, because I think apart from Esterson and Bragan, the other supporting cast isn't really that interesting, if I'm being particularly honest. But yeah, the characters are brilliant. Waterfield and Maxwell are excellently written and excellently performed by Maris Goring and John Bailey, and just everything really. It's just so well written, and all the cliffhangers are brilliantly done. Kemal actually is really well utilised as well. Like, even though he kind of fulfills a racial stereotype role, I think Sonny Caldenas actually is able to get a very nice a performance out of his character, and you're able to actually enjoy his relationship with Jamie throughout the story, which I think makes him more of an endearing character, and maybe even slightly better representation than, say, Toberman is in the very next story, which is very much in a similar vein, but not nearly as well articulated, if that makes sense. So yeah, all the characters are brilliant, the Daleks are brilliant, the cliffhangers as well in this story, absolutely fantastic. Like, even though you kind of know what's going to happen at the end of episode 1, because, well, it says it in the title, and obviously in the story it's kind of, there is a sense of building up to it, because there's a scene intercut with the cafe scenes where Waterfield's in the inner chamber, and you can see him sort of be quite frightened and nervous, where he's talking to someone. Again, it's very obvious who he's talking to, but yeah, that cliffhanger is brilliant, and Dudley Simpson's score really brings up the tension, which is excellent. And yeah, episode 2's cliffhanger is brilliant, and Paddy Troughton's performance is absolutely fantastic in this. And you can see it most evidently in episode 2, where you just see the absolute look on his face when the Dalek appears. It's kind of similar to how in Wheeler's face, where once he finds out that the Cybermen are on the Silver Carrier, you kind of see his whole face going at like 100 miles an hour. So well done in that story, excellently done in this story, and his whole performance is excellent. And the other cliffhangers are really good. Episode 6 must be one of the greatest cliffhangers ever. The reveal of the Emperor Dalek and the Doctor's a larger role in the story are just so well done. And also, Jamie's fantastic in this. I think the basis ones in this is where Jamie really comes into his own as a companion, and you can really see that David Whittaker's enjoying writing the character and giving him the hero role, particularly in episode 4, where he's doing the quest for the story. So yeah, it does. So yeah, this story is absolutely fantastic. It's a story that I've always loved, and it does feel slightly weird doing a DVD review of this story, because for years and years I only had the audiobook version of Evil of the Daleks to refer to. I can remember listening to this back in 2014 and just being absolutely mind blown by it. So it does feel very weird, but also very good to actually be able to watch this story after all this time, and it'll be amazing just to find a bit more perhaps someday. But you know, there's maybe another story that I would like to see a bit more of than this, perhaps these days. So yeah, Evil of the Daleks is a fantastic Paddy Trout story, and it's one of his best. This actually was my favourite Doctor Who story of all time, but I think that position may have been challenged somewhat by another second Doctor story recently. So yeah, this story is brilliant. I rate it a complete 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. I can't really articulate what do we call it, score, a definite score, because this thing's changed all the time. Yeah, this is just fantastic bit of Doctor Who, and it's really nice to be able to watch it now. Well, not necessarily in its entirety because it's animated, but yeah, it's brilliant to be able to watch it. So yeah, that was my full thoughts and opinions on Evil of the Dark. So I'd highly recommend picking up this DVD because it's it's just a classic bit of Patrick which is much missed from the BBC archive. So yeah, that was my review of the Evil of the Daleks. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.